Welcome to Voice of Niger TV Daily Newspaper Review, where you get the insight of both local, national, and international newspaper front pages.
Mubarak to our esteemed listener out there. I welcome you to another edition of Voice of Niger TV Newspaper Review. I am your host, Fatima Abdullahi Muhammad, and I'm here with Nigerian newspapers and international newspapers. Just listen as I'll be giving you different headlines from both Nigeria and international newspapers. If you love any of them, kindly go to the nearest newspaper vendor, get a copy of the newspaper, and get through to the details. Let's begin with Voice of Liberty, and I have the following headlines. 2023, how APC guideline puts Amechi Ngige Malami orders in tight corner. 2023, I have 11 million ready votes for PDP victory. That's coming from Atiku Abubakar. Kaduna, bandit released picture of baby delivered by a woman kidnapped in train attack. 2023, amid resignation, ultimatum, Malami declares for KB governorship race. Insecurity threatens foundations of Nigeria's nationhood. That's coming from Gbajabiamila. 2023 presidency, Tinubu remains a rallying point, says Sanwo-Olu as Amechi visits Lagos. Federal government declares Monday, Tuesday as public holiday to mark Workers' Day Salah celebration. And lastly, PDP tickets. You are my friend, but I want to work for you as aspirant. Ayu tells Atiku, and that's all I'll be giving you from Voice of Liberty. Right now, I have Vanguard Newspaper, and I'll be giving you the following headlines. How I became vice president, that's coming from Osibajo, and it has about 4 riders. Says he was surprised when Buhari nominated him as running mate. Intrigues that led to his nomination. Why I'm telling the story, how we chose Osibajo, that's coming from presidency source. I'm most prepared for president. You can get that from page 5. Workers' Day, Eid al-Fitr. Federal government declares May 2nd, 3rd public holidays. You can see that from page 10. Gunmen attack bullion van in Imo, smash many vehicles. You can get that from page 6. 2023, why I oppose section 84 subsection 12 of new electoral act, Buhari tells court. You can get that from page 10. Train attack, terrorists release picture of baby born in captivity. You can get that from page 6 and above the nameplate of Vanguard. 30 days after train attack, federal government should have rescued kidnapped victims. That's coming from Khan. You can see that from page 9. Delta 2023, why I won't accept your candidate, Okowa tells Ibori. You can get that from page 12. And lastly, Zenith Bank records 22% growth in Q1 2022. You can see that from page 19 of the Vanguard newspaper. From Business Day newspaper, I'll be giving you the following headlines. Street food business booms as unemployment bites. We can see a picture of where Uto Bana, company secretary, MTN Nigeria Communication PLC, carry Oluto Kontoriola, Chief Executive Officer, Ernest Ndukwe, Chairman of Mobile Agency, Non-Executive Director, and Andrew Ali, Non-Executive Director, at the company's 3rd annual general meeting held at the MTN Nigeria headquarters, Lagos, yesterday. 6 things Nigerians pay more for since Russia to Ukraine war started. IMF urges Nigeria order oil exporters to build buffers. You can get that from page 31 and above the nameplate of Business Day. Early results show Nigerian firms defying headwinds. It has the right the biggest companies post profit growth. You can get that from page 2, and that's all I'll be giving you from Business Day newspaper. Right now, I have the Daily Trust newspaper, and I'll be giving you the following headlines. APC presidential ticket. High stakes in Southwest as 5 aspirants eye ticket from zone. It has about 3 riders, Osibajo, Tinubu, and Mosun, 2 others to split zones, 1,568 delegates. We are awaiting direction parties would take. That's coming from Afeni Ferre. We should strive for a national president. You can get all that from page 5. And Kaduna train attack. Terrorists release captives' newborn baby's picture. You can see that from page 5. 700 firms bid for 12 billion naira railway project. 2023. Again, Buhari warns against foreign interference, vows to block rigging. Senate Bank records 191 billion naira growth in first quarter, and PDP ticket Atiku, Saraki, Wike, 14 orders for screening today. You can get that from the page 18 of Daily Trust newspaper, and that's all I'll be giving you from this newspaper. Let's move over to this day newspaper, and let's begin with the picture where the chairman Ikenne local government Olusegun Ogunleye, his Remo North counterpart Dapo Odunsi, Ogun State Deputy Governor Naimat Salako Oyedele, Governor Dapo Abiodun, his political advisor B. Adeleye, and Chairman Shagamu Local Government Jibril Oduleti during the presentation of the All Progressives Congress nomination form for 2023 governorship election by the DA Mandate 2023 group to the governor in Abeokuta yesterday. Train attack. Terrorists release photograph of baby delivered in captivity by abducted women. It has rider Umar expresses dismay, appeals for international community's intervention. Federal government puts total value of Nigeria's gas reserves at $803.4 trillion. You can see that from page 6 and above the nameplate of this day newspaper. Zenith Bank's growth accelerates with 22% rise in gross earnings. And lastly, Total joins exodus of oil majors from onshore Nigeria. You can get that from page 55, and that's all I'll be giving you from this day newspaper. Let's move over to the Nigeria Tribune, and I have the following headlines. Access Holdings targets 100 million customers in 5 years. You can get that from page 5. Zenith Bank expands market share with 22% gross earning in Q1 2022. You can get that from page 5. Federal government declares Monday, Tuesday as public holidays. You can get that from page 38. 2023 presidency. Falana 1999 Constitution. Supreme Court decisions have disqualified Jonathan. You can get that from page 2, and it has about 2 riders. Cites Ladoja in Yako cases, says ex-president will spend more than 8 years if elected. Abiodun declares interest in second firm, receives nomination form from Kingsmen. Edo High Court bars Edo government from collecting land use charge. You can get that from page 38. Bandits abduct village head in Kaduna, demand tramadol, petrol, cigarettes as ransom. You can get that from page 36. Nigeria, 4 others risks outbreak of measles. WHO, UNICEF wants. You can get that from page 26. Or your APC members meet in Ajimobi's house, begin reconciliation processes. You can get that from page 3. 17 PDP presidential aspirants to be screened today It has two riders, party nets, 645 million naira from presidential nomination forms. Governorship aspirants screened at zonal level. You can get that from page 3. And above the nameplate of Nigerian Tribune, consensus, IBB did not force us on North. That's coming from Bauchi Governor. It has a rider, elders from 3 zones in the North voted. That's coming from Ango Abdullahi. Buhari does not understand Nigeria. That's coming from Tambuwal. You can see that from page 11. And lastly, I have 11 million ready votes. That's coming from Atiku. It has a rider wants PDP to grant him right of first refusal on presidential tickets. And you can get that from page 33. And that's all I'll be giving you from the Nigerian Tribune newspaper. From Nigerian News Direct, NNPC, FIRS, DPR order generate 28.02 trillion naira in 3 years. That's coming from NEIT. We can see 2 pictures. The first one, Governor Dapo Abiodun received Best Governor of the Year award from Daily Independent newspaper in his office yesterday at Okemosan Abeokuta. And the second one, we can see the chairman, Nigeria Exchange Limited, Abakar Mahmood, CEO, NGX Limited, Popola GMD, CEO, Access Holding PLC, Habat Wigwe, and Chairman Babapode Osunkoi during closing gong ceremony to commemorate the listing of Access Holding PLC at the floor of exchange in Lagos yesterday. Women in oil and gas to benefit from $40 million NCDMB and EXIM Bank Fund. That's coming from Wabote. 2023 presidential election, mixed reaction trail Jonathan's eligibility. You can see that from page 2. Governor Abiodun never admitted to committing crime anywhere. That's coming from Odusile. You can get that from page 4. Yes, Femi Adesina's column. You can get that from the back page of Nigerian News Direct. And lastly, above the nameplate of Nigerian News Direct, Zenith Banks has stored markets with 22% growth in gross earning in Q1 2022. That's all I'll be giving you from the newspaper Nigerian News Direct. And lastly, from the Nigerian newspapers, I have New Telegraph and party chieftain Jonathan better in 2015 if APC gives him 2023 tickets. You can get that from page 2, 4, and 6. Gbajabiamila, insecurity threat to Nigeria's existence. You can get that from page 2, 6, and 30. It has 2 riders. Troops rescue 669 hostages in 3 weeks. That's coming from DHQ. Terrorists release kidnapped train victims' newborn babies picture. PDP tickets. I deserve right of first refusal, says Atiku. You can get that from page 2 and 4. It has about 3 riders. Are you? Nobody has mandate to select candidate for us. Nigeria's national wealth safe with me. That's coming from Obi as party screens Ekwere Madu Aberibe Ogba 34 others Southeast governor aspirant. 7 hours of sleep is optimal. That's coming from study. You can see that from page 8. And above we can see my exposure makes me best to succeed Buhari. That's coming from Osibajo. You can get that from page 3. Sanctions against Russia. Why Nigeria abstained from voting at UN by federal government. You can get that from page 2 and 8. ASU. NLC threatens 3-day warning strike. That's coming from page 6 of New Telegraph. And 2023 AGF Malami joins race, declares for KB Guba. You can get that from page 3 and above the nameplate of New Telegraph. IMF 6 end to subsidy for oil windfall benefits. It has a rider diversification key to Nigeria's growth. That's all I'll be giving you from the Nigerian newspapers. The international newspaper with me right here is the New York Times, and I'll be giving you the following headlines. US Fed could affect the world. A flood to save their country. Haunting death sparks outrage over gender violence. Fears mount that war will spill outside Ukraine. And above the nameplate of the New York Times, Wall Street, hot job market causes concern. Coruscant Reds exploring a wine's identity. You can see that from the back page. Funny Girl Revival. The musical returns to the Broadway stage. You can get that from page 14. And that's all I'll be giving you from the New York Times. Let's move over to Times of Malta, and I'll be giving you the following headlines. Greg submits his name for PN leadership contest. You can get that from page 5. Malta signs new deals to lock in price of LNG. And lastly, no COVID checks on arrivals starting Monday. That's all I'll be giving you from Times of Malta newspaper. And lastly, from the international newspapers, I have The Guardian, and I will be giving you the following headlines. Birian Ferry, Roxy Music, Whistling, and the band's best album. Biden defies Putin's threat by doubling aid in Ukraine. PM urged to act swiftly over porn watcher MP. Pollution over WHO limit in almost every UK home. You can get that from page 2. And lastly, experts find ideal length for a good night's sleep. You can get that from page 3. And that's all I'll be giving you from the international newspapers and Nigerian newspapers. If any of the headline fascinates you, kindly go to the nearest newspaper vendor, get a copy of the dailies, and get through to the details. We've come to the end of Voice of Niger TV newspaper review, and I hope you enjoyed it. Do join me next week for another interesting edition of newspaper review. Until then, please don't forget to subscribe to our channel and follow us on our social media handle. I am Fatima Abdullahi Muhammad, and I am wishing Muslim Ummas Eid al-Fitr celebration. Bye for now.